Coming up, we take a look at the brand new Tomorrowland entrance sign at the Magic Kingdom, which has garnered some very polarized reactions. More aesthetic changes are underway in the land as Disney moves from the steampunk look back to the original sleek futurism look. And we take a look at the latest news and views from the Skyliner, with cast member testing of the system underway as we speak. This is Mickey Views News.
All who come to this happy place, welcome.
Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me.
Hello everyone, my name is Brayden and welcome to the first ever video from the new Mickey Views Magic Studio. This one isn't in Atlanta, this is being filmed in Orlando, Florida, just minutes away from Disney. Absolutely wild stuff. The studio is earning its name now, being closer than ever before to the Magic. I apologize if there's any sort of echo or things like that. I'm still working on soundproofing my little studio apartment here, so don't worry about that. I will continue improving the studio. When I'm recording this, I'm still getting stuff together. I haven't even been to Disney yet as a Florida resident, like to the parks yet. I will tonight, but I've not been as I'm recording this, so still a lot going on. But I just wanted to get a video out for you guys here as soon as possible and talk about the latest news. I want to go more in depth on some other big news that's been going on, some other big stories this week, and actually go to the parks to talk about those and get footage of them, particularly with all the action happening over in Epcot. So be sure to subscribe with those notifications on so you don't miss any of that. All right, the new Tomorrowland entrance sign. So the story goes, a couple months ago, overnight, the old steampunk ray gun gothic style neon entrance sign disappeared, and very soon after, likely some intern probably hit the wrong button, because the new entrance sign appeared on the My Disney Experience app long before the actual new sign was anywhere close to ready to be installed. So we already had a pretty good idea as to what it would look like. Then fast forward to just a few days ago, Seabase Adam got these photos of the Tomorrowland entrance sign and its support columns on a giant flatbed truck going through the Epcot entrance gates, the parking booth area. Now immediately you had people online saying like, no, this is something for the Epcot Overhaul Preview Center, you know, it's the Tomorrow lettering from the D23 Expo Parks area, it's that same style. But what these people probably don't know is there's a large storage facility and the Imagineering offices and warehouse over on Avenue to the Stars, which is the backstage road that wraps around Epcot. So quite often you see all sorts of new things, new show elements, all sorts of stuff drive around Epcot Center Drive specifically to get to and from that area. So we woke up Wednesday and sure enough, there it was. The brand new Tomorrowland entrance sign was up in the Magic Kingdom. And I think we all knew that this would happen just looking at what it looked like on that map, but it got a lot of polarized reactions right off the bat because the sleek original Tomorrowland style Disney is going back to the modern look. Someone described that as boring, just like how others loved the ultra detailed steampunk design for the land and others saw it as very tacky and not as good as the original version of the Tomorrowland design. Personally, I like the modern sleek look for the land a lot better than the steampunk look. I think it looks more modern. It looks more like general retrofuturism, where you can have stuff like Tron that's more arcade style, but you can also stuff from all sorts of different eras of retrofuture, and they all work together in that design. Whereas I feel like steampunk and the Jules Verne style is very, you know, era specific, and it's a little harder to branch out and do like arcade style stuff and things like that. But here's the thing, I have to say, if there's anything that I loved from the steampunk era of Tomorrowland, it has to be the neon and that beautiful Tomorrowland entrance sign with so much detail and that neon. Seeing this new one, it just looks like there's not a lot going on. It's very simple. Some guests noticed one cool thing with the new sign is you can time it with the sun just right, where it casts the Tomorrowland lettering shadow on the back of the new circular sign structure, making for a cool photo. At night, the sign looks really cool with that blue orb on the inside of the structure, and then of course you have the Tomorrowland lettering that looks like it's floating above. Let me know what you guys think. Speaking of the new modern look for Tomorrowland, Blog Mickey spotted Disney starting to take some of the steampunk theming off of the People Mover itself, the exterior of the People Mover, those big metal fins that are protruding off of the structure. This is where I really want to see the steampunk go, because looking at the original Tomorrowland and that look where you have those slender white columns along the People Mover, it makes the whole thing just look magical. It looks like you're floating up there. It looks so good and so futuristic and really, really fun. So if they can go back to that look, which it looks like they are, that would be great. Onwards and upwards to the Disney Skyliner news. Disney gave us some new footage riding on the Skyliner for the news media to show when talking about it. You can see them demonstrating various loading procedures, like whisking strollers onto the continuously loading gondolas, and also how handicapped loading works, where a gondola is taken off the line and then can come to a complete stop to load those guests needing special assistance. We also got some views of the outside of the Riviera station and guests walking around there. And now, are you ready? Because we got footage from inside the gondolas actually on the line, from above, gliding over Walt Disney World. It's some pretty incredible stuff. First off, we have this view from the Caribbean beach, heading over to Epcot. That Guardians ride building, oh boy, I'm not gonna go there. Also, we got views of the Hollywood Studios area where you can see you have the Tower of Terror in the distance, and also coming into Hollywood Studios to that station, you can see going over the parking and the parking trams and the buses and all of that. We also got footage flying over the water over by the Pop Century and the Art of Animation. Now, this got some reactions online. There's a soundbite of kids looking out the window on the gondola, looking out over all of Walt Disney World, and this is what they said.
Did you see Ariel's?
It's fun looking at all the characters.
It's fun looking at all the characters? Seriously, how much did they pay you to say that? Just crazy stuff. I personally think the characters on the gondolas, it just makes the whole system look tacky. And it's already been proven that nobody cares about the characters being on the gondolas. It's not like all of a sudden the system's gonna open and all of a sudden people are gonna start caring. We've had the characters revealed on the line all summer, and I really haven't seen them catch on at all. None of the Instagrammers really cared, and I feel like it was sort of made for them. None of the guests walking by seemed to even notice or care at all. Like, I just don't know who those are for. I think part of the idea is it could be like the monorail where you have the different stripes. Like, I was on monorail red, but you could be like, I went on the Mickey gondola. But that doesn't really work because instead of making a new design for each individual gondola, they copied them a bunch of times. So there's actually like 4 or 5 Mickey gondolas in actuality, which really diminishes any little special bit of, redeeming value that those character stickers could have had, where it's like, oh, I got to be on the special Haunted Mansion one, that was so cool. Instead, a lot of these character stickers are duplicated many, many times across the system, so it really doesn't have the same effect. Disney, please let Imagineering design the gondolas with a unique look next time. Like, looking at these buses they're doing now, these new buses, marketing is just slapping giant ads on them. Like, they have no design at all. Speaking as a former kid who loved Disney transportation and the look of all of it, who collected the monorail playsets, all the ride cars, the bus die-casts, no kid is going to buy a die-cast of a bus with a giant Lion King ad on it. You know what they will buy? A new Disney transportation bus with a new unique design for Walt Disney World that Imagineering comes up with. That is an actual marketable thing that people will buy, because creating new things, new designs, that leads to more revenues. Making cool new stuff gives us new stuff we want to buy. Just look at what they're doing with all the new Epcot logos. Giving things like the gondolas and the buses a unique design that isn't overtly about intellectual properties and is actually about the vehicle itself and giving it its own character, that is better than needlessly slapping ads on it on the transportation systems, because in actuality you will end up making more money with consumer products and shirts and the iconography like we've seen with the monorail when you go that route. Nobody is going to go buy Frozen merchandise or buy The Lion King on Blu-ray because they rode in a giant advertisement of that on a bus. Nobody is going to go watch Guardians again because they rode on a Gamora gondola. Like, this really doesn't have any return for Disney that makes any sense. Honestly, I give these characters on the gondolas like 5 years max, because the thing is they're vinyl on outside all the time on these gondolas in the Florida sun. So they're not going to last very long color-wise. They're going to have to be replaced, and I can totally see when it comes time for them to be replaced, it's just like, you don't even need to reprint them. Like, we don't need the characters on here at all. Just take off the vinyl, and then we can have a system that's like the monorail or like the regular buses, where it has its own character and its own styling and its own design that isn't just about advertising movie properties. So let me know your thoughts. Do you like the new character gondolas? Do we need that on a Disney transportation system? Even that kid who said he liked them, it sounded really dispassionate to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's some much greater news with the Skyliner, though. We now know that it will have a narrator, and she is going to be talking all about the environmentalism and conservation as you're flying over Walt Disney World, and you can actually see a lot of the areas, the protected wildlife areas that Disney has on property. So that is going to be really cool to actually listen to and see what they say. The Skyliner opens September 29th, and cast member previews are happening as we speak. That's all the latest news with Tomorrowland and the Skyliner. Stay tuned for some more news very, very soon. I'm heading to Epcot to do a 3-hour live stream stream on Corey Meets World's channel tonight. So if you want to see some Brayden Epcot rants, they've been exported over there, so you don't have to deal with them over here. Seriously though, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be trying stuff at Food and Wine and talking about the changes in Epcot. It's going to be awesome. I just want to thank you all so much for helping make this dream a reality. My first ever video from a studio that is actually located in Orlando. I am like living that dream, and it still hasn't really set in yet that I'm here in Orlando living my dream. Still getting settled in, but safe to say I have some big plans and it's going to be a ton of fun. Be sure to subscribe with those notification bells on so you don't miss any of it. We don't just have the Skyliner opening this month still, we also have the Illuminations finale and Epcot Forever that is coming up on October 1st too. They're already testing the Epcot Forever fireworks after park closing, which is so exciting. From the new Mickey Views Magic Studio in Orlando, Florida, I'm Brayden Holness. I'll talk to you very soon. Have a magical day.